Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I got one more stop to make for my grocery run. I'm going home and warming up and making my motherfucking chicken and rice. But peep game though, man. We got to rap about this shit last night, man. Frank Martin versus goddamn Michelle Rivera, man. I was 150% wrong about this fight. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. Frank Martin proved to be in a whole different realm, a whole different class of fighter than a Michelle Rivera, man. He did good in the first, the first and the third round, maybe. I think the first round he clearly won. He worked a little bit better behind the straight shots. He landed a little bit more, but we didn't even see Frank Martin open up in that first round. The second round, Frank Martin just came out on fire. He started throwing in combination, and he saw that clearly. The speed was entirely too much for Michelle Rivera. It bothered him, it hindered him, it muted his offense. He could never, he couldn't counter effectively. He couldn't find the openings in between punches because there was no window of opportunity there between the punches. There was just nothing there. And he came out in the third round. You could have gave that round to Michelle Rivera. So I think they both did good work in that round. But from the fourth on, it was just downhill momentum for Frank Martin, man. This dude, the speed advantage, the speed was just entirely too much for him, man. And not just even with his hands, man, his feet, man, the fast combination punching, the ability, bro. I can't remember what round it was in, but how fast he closed distance from outside to not even from outside to deep in the pocket and back outside, bro. He was that fast on his feet. I was tweaked watching this dude. Like, god damn. It's easy to talk about what a fighter needs to do, even from a professional level. You know what I'm saying? He needs to make adjustments. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. But as well, better than anybody, a lot of times your opponent is just not capable of making those adjustments. You dig? You still, you're in a fight. Yeah, we get all that, but you're still definitely trying to preserve yourself because you can go in there and get hurt. And Frank Martin dropped that nigga. Beautifully dropped it. The counter punching was there. And it was easy to read after a while, man. Michelle Rivera, because he was so flustered, he threw the same combination. And that was my biggest problem with him. I want to say from the fight, I said it in the last video. I talked about this. He was on the undercard for the Butayev versus Jamal James fight, and I was just like, yo, he jabs too much, which I've never thought that was an issue beforehand, man. But I'm watching him, and he's just jabbing and jabbing, trying to emulate Ali, which is dope. But Ali would also follow the jab up. He wouldn't just jab one or jab two. If he's gonna throw a combination on just jab, he'll throw a 4-punch combination or jabs. And he also knew how to bring the right hand up. Bring the right hand behind the jab. He also knew how to hook and spin you off of the jab. Check hook off of the jab. He knew how to do. It was a lot more vocabulary with Ali off of the jab. Ali was just like in there just jabbing and be jabbing. So when he fought Perez, I'm like, he clearly cleaned that up because I was seeing him step in behind the jab, plant his feet, tap the left hook to the body. He brung the right uppercut beautifully up, right up the middle on a multitude of occasions in his last fight. I was like, yo, this kid is nice. So I was overly excited to watch him versus Frank Martin. I'm like, yo, this kid is the goods. Homeboy is like that. But he clearly regressed in this fight. Like he looked lost in there, man. He threw the same punches at the same speed. You know what I'm saying? He never doubled up on the jab. He never feinted the jab and hooked off of it. He never flashed the jab. I have a combination now, mind you. I'm not Michelle Rivera. I ain't none of these dudes. But just on my personal experience in the ring, I have a combination that I just randomly just started doing it. It just felt good, and I just, I do it, and I'll throw the lead uppercut off the jab. I'll step in behind the jab and throw the lead uppercut up in there. It's an up jab. It's an up jab. He didn't do anything like that. And he was spinning right into Frank Martin's left hand. He was getting punished for it. And early on in the day, this is what, it's levels to it, man. Just when you're in a position, like, you can do, when someone isn't equipped to give you a certain amount of resistance, you can come outside of your, you know, your fighting identity and look as if you're, you know, you can step outside of your fighting identity and do shit that you wouldn't normally do if you was facing a foe that was able to give you a certain amount of resistance. Like when Spence fought Mikey Garcia, everybody was really driving home the point of his outboxing ability. Even though he's not an outboxer, that's just not what he does. He doesn't tap dance from the outside. He doesn't walk you into traps. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't spin you off the hooks, and he doesn't do shit like that. But he was able to do that with someone like Mikey Garcia. And even his footwork, Spence doesn't have good feet like that. That's not his strong suit. But when he fought Lamont Peterson, he was able to, do the Ali shuffle and all that, get in, get out. And he was able to do all that because he just wasn't meeting the ample amount of resistance. You saw what his strong suits was when he fought Sean Porter, because Sean Porter was able to give him resistance. The shit that you can do with lesser foes, you can't do on me. So you have no other choice but to revert to your strong suits if you want to win this fight. And Ali Rivera was able to do that with lesser foes. So he's in there. Frank Martin, early on, he was able to spin out and pivot out with Frank Martin, but you have to be able to continue that for a 12-round bout. And Frank Martin was just spinning this dude like a fucking matador the entire fight. The entire fight, he had this dude just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And he couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up. Down the stretch, he couldn't keep up. When you see motherfucker curl up, brawl up, you're at their mercy, dog. You are completely at their mercy. And Frank Martin had him at his mercy. The dude was he just wasn't on the level of a Frank Martin, man. The speed, the combination punching, just the counter punching, he just cat-like reflexes, man. I saw how fast he was in that Perez fight, but to do that shit in front of Rivera, I was just like tweaked off that. Like, god damn, how fast he was able to close distance, how fast he was able to let punches go, bro. Like, it was real remarkable to watch this dude go in there and put on the performance that he did last night, man. That was impressive. That was really impressive. You dig? He definitely put the division on notice, man. He might be the fastest in the division. He just might be the fastest in the division. That is scary speed right there. That is scary speed. And it was just the speed, just the minute he would open up, there was no, Ali was at his mercy. I can't do nothing. He's fast. This shit, I can't. You know, man, that was a clinic, man. I've been on them type of ass whoopings. I've been on the other end of them type of ass whoopings. It's embarrassing, man. It really is. You know, this is, you know, you just saw the frustration in Ali's face at the end. You just saw it just during the fight. You know, when they get to shaking their head, yeah, you're getting to him. And just, you know, it was no punch selection, no, man. It was no variation in punches, man. I didn't see one. I started seeing left hooks later on down the line, but it was nothing with conviction, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like he was trying to try new shit, but he was just ill-equipped to try it. He was ill-equipped. He was doing the same 1-2, the same 1-2, the same 1-2 at the same speed, at the same speed, at the same speed. And it became easy to read. It became easier to counter, and that eventually led to him getting dropped. Frank Martin could have stopped him last night. He could have stopped him. He could have stopped that dude. That nigga was in there like lost. You dig? And I've always said, like I said, I'm like, if Frank Martin can get on the inside and use them feet, he's gonna win the fight. And he was in there like he was. Oh my God! It was just real gracious footwork. It was just incredible, immaculate feet, bro. That shit was remarkable watching him go to work like that, man. And Ali has good feet. It's just like I said, he doesn't have the fastest feet on the inside in the pocket. His best work is tap dancing on the outside and walking you in the shots. But he was so fast on his feet, he couldn't time them coming in. That was a really incredible performance last night from Frank Martin, bro. That dude is the truth. And I know it's a lot of people who really wanted him to lose because he's, you know, he's a man down fighter and he's in Spence's, you know, stable. He's stable mates with Spence and all that, man. So he wanted him to lose. You know, I thought dude is nice. I think dude is nice. And he just really showed that he's a step above Michelle Rivera, bro. Like, Rivera had nothing for that, man. Nothing. And which brings me to my next point, man. Just all the you know, the stat pattern and all that, man. Just padding the stats and just the Jose Uzcategui fight really bothered me, bro, because the fact that they was about to put David Benavidez in there with him, the fact that they was about to do that shit to just continue to perpetuate this narrative that he's a boogeyman and unfuckable fighter and that everybody is ducking, that shit is nasty to me. Fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting, man. I don't like, how good was Bolavita at his head, you know, at his peak? Was he ever that dude? I don't think that he was, bro. I don't think that he was. I honestly don't think that he was. But because he fought Caleb Plant dogged him. Caleb Plant dogged him. So for that, they all right, cool. He been in there with Caleb Plant. He been in there with Lionel Richards, and man, nah, bro. No, I mean, he's resilient. He has a good beard. You know, he's tough. That's where it stops at, though. That's where it stops at. I don't know what the fuck niggas is talking about, bro. Like, just why are you? And I was mad at it. I'm like, there's no reason why this dude should be fighting somebody like a fucking like Bolavita, bro. That shit is a pointless fight. Why? Oh, that's a pointless fight. I was really aggy seeing that shit. Like, yo, they really trying to line this shit up and play us like we stupid or something. My nigga, no. So they can continue to push this narrative that David Benavidez is this boogeyman, and he's not. Stat pattern, that shit does not help you out, bro. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. Which brings me to my next point of Isaac fucking Cruz. I'm on Facebook arguing with some nigga telling me that Isaac Cruz would knock the fuck out of Ali Rivera because of what how Ali Rivera looked against Frank Martin last night. Isaac Cruz does not have the dimensions the attributes of a Frank Martin. Not even close. Not even fucking close. Like, well, I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas is talking about, bro. You because he looked like that against Frank Martin, that means Cruz is capable of doing that shit to Rivera? Hell no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Cruz would get his ass beat in there against a goddamn Rivera. Not like badly. He will get violated by Rivera. Like, niggas is so hyped up that he went 12 rounds with Tank and goddamn how he did Gamboa, that because he was able to do that to them, that means he can, like, he's like that. Bro, he went 12 with Tank and Tank had a broken hand. What the fucking do? What the fucking do, bro? He's like, they're padding this dude's stats because in their eyes, we got to start to make it right here because he went 12 with Tank. No. So instead of putting him in there with somebody of worth, let's get him in there with Gamboa. And because he knocked out Gamboa and knocked out a 126 pounder, shit, he the next thing. No. It's the reason Ali Rivera was ducked by Isaac Cruz. Because Cruz will get his head whooped fighting Ali Rivera. He has nothing for Ali Rivera. The dude is good. At this point, he's a quality name on the resume, but let's leave it at that, bro. That's where that shit stops. Y'all really gonna have to, oh my God. The minute he steps up and fights a credible top elite, he's a solid fighter, but the minute he steps up and he fights a Devin Haney, a Shakur Stevenson, a Lomachenko, a Frank Martin, even a Richard Comey, a Jose Pedraza, you are going to see how inept that dude is. He's not beating Ali Rivera, dog. He's not. You dig? And oh man, I've been hearing, oh man, he was a hype job. I really despise the word hype job, man. Nobody was gassing Ali Rivera to be something other than he was. He's a quality lightweight. That's it. He just was proven not to be on the level of the elites at this point in time. And maybe he needs a new trainer. Because with that man, just that man he was just completely, he had a complete inability to adjust. And Frank Martin had that man looking like, whew. Frank Martin went to the club last night, bro. I know he did, because he didn't have no blemishes or nothing on his face. That nigga left the ring and went to the club. You didn't even know he was in a fight, fam. Like, that nigga was just... Frank Martin is like that, man. Ali Rivera is, you know, he needs a little bit more work. And that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Maybe switch trainers and we'll go from there, man. But, you know, let's kill that hype job shit, because he was never gassed like that. He never was. Ever. He's a quality lightweight. He's a good name to have on a resume. And hopefully this doesn't stunt his growth. He continues to grow. He learns from this loss and he moves forward. But I wonder what's next for Ali. Not Ali, but Frank. I really want to know who's next for him. Because he put the division on notice. He put the division on notice like a motherfucker with this fight. Like wow. Like, there should be, like, he needs to be hollered. Tank, that's a nigga that Tank needs to be seeing. That's somebody that Tank needs to be seeing, like, immediately, man. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it, though, man. I got this last story run to make, and I'm going in there right now to get the shit, and I'm going home, man. I'll get with y'all later. Y'all be easy. Deuces.